Now the CRO is selected. The next stage is how to collaborate. And we need, again, it's new adventures. We need to set up all the things we need to make things happen. Of course, communication is always very important. So we need to set up communication channels. And after the business person in that, the development person from that CRO is win the business, he's gone. He's perfect in English. So, but now we are facing a study team. They are much less desirable than we thought. So now you're dealing with reality. You cannot just quit because your English is not up to speed. Therefore, you have to accommodate that and to make the communication much more practical than you originally thought. Instead of just having a regular email or once a month or once a week of teleconference, because they will not say no on the conference. But afterwards, they don't understand or they want you to say no, what should they do? So I particularly appointed a scientist who had bilingual capacities. And she was able to communicate with China at least, or Singapore, Hong Kong in Chinese. So they always say yes in the conference or meetings. And they always immediately call her afterwards to clarify. She was complaining, but I said, well, this is part of the job. And then she accepted. She thought that's actually helped a lot to clarify things. So for both sides, the language communication is very, very important. And of course, we have to set up data management and integrations because these data ultimately should be incorporated into the other studies in the organizations. So we have to step by step to walk through with them about how to set the data and the ECRF, and which was much more painful than I thought because as a medical monitor, when I work in the corporate for Lilly and Wyeth, people were just helping to set up and then get a few clarifications done. But now I had to walk through everything. But to me, I felt I learned a lot for these tiny techniques. And for site selection, setup monitoring, which is much easier because we already did a lot of work, pre-work, working with the sites. And we already had consensus with the sites. I just gave the CRO the list of the sites. Those are sites, call them. Tell them who told you to call the sites. So the sites had much better ideas on why the sites, the CRO call them and what the studies are. So that's the part which is easier. And then we had to work with them, the CROs, to provide the vendor for the meeting plannings. Again, that's another page, but I don't think I had the time to share with you. And then the next question is how to standardize it. It's such a big corporations. You use the CRO. Are you going to use the SOP with your companies, or are you using their SOPs? So it depends on the needs. It is much more desirable if the vendor can just use our SOP, and then that will be, for our study team, will be really ease of concerns. But in reality, when a company like ours is going through the merge, who is going to be responsible for reviewing these SOPs and to really oversight their performance exactly on those SOPs and the trainings on all those SOPs? So it's very hard. And then in the end, we had a consensus. We can use, since it's a central CRO, we can use the CRO's SOP. However, this CRO has to provide us the list of the SOPs which is relevant to the study for us to review and document it. And of course, it's under the ICH guidelines. So in that case, we have a documentation to protect ourselves and to preserve the integrity of the studies.